So good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I'm sorry I'm not with you live this morning, but I am off cleaning the sea. So I hope you will forgive me. And as a special treat, I thought I'd bring you down to the water because this week we're doing a water element. Of course, it's week 3 in our series where we're strengthening the immune system. And this week we're focusing on how to reduce stress, anxiety, and fear. And one of the best ways that we can do this, harnessing the water element, is to acknowledge the ebb and flow that is life. So it's all balanced. You know, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, and it's about letting it flow. So whatever you're feeling, just letting that feeling be, rather than fighting it. Just like, this is how I'm feeling right now. So we're going to be playing with the waves in the body. We're going to be playing with this idea of ebb and flow. We're going to be looking to put the nervous system into a state of balance this morning. So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable seat. I am pretty warm. It's the middle of the day here in South Tat, and just behind me, that's just where I live, where I'm usually filming from, just at that mountain. But today I'm on the beach of Obod, so I get my paddleboard from. So just a little flavour of where I am this morning. So let's start just by finding our comfortable seat. And of course, giving ourselves a self-care hug. We just arrive in our body, just reminding yourself to be compassionate to yourself, however you're feeling this morning, however you find yourself on the mat. Let's change over the cross of the legs and take a hug in the other direction. So I'm sending you an extra hug from my heart to your heart this morning. And I hope you'll send a little hug into your own heart as well. We'll find us come to a comfortable state of balance. Today we're going to place one hand on the heart, one hand on the solar plexus, just linking in these two energy centers. Just going to arrive, just noticing the breath without changing anything. Just breathing. Maybe you can hear the sounds of the sea behind, or even just behind, which is very good for us to look at the sea. You can just remind yourself that you are a part of that ocean too. It's an ocean within you. Can you feel it? It's an ebb and a flow. And it's this breath, it's our breath that creates this tide within us. It's not just breath. Can you feel the energy shift? Ebb and flow. Feel as you deepen that breath and imagine the tide in the whole of the body. You know, we are tidal beings. We're filled with water. See the effect the moon has on the water and the tides. You see how it affects us. Maybe yesterday's affected you. However you're feeling today, just remind yourself it's all ebb and flow. This is where I am right now. These words resonate with you. This is where I am right now. They do, you can repeat them in your head or even out loud. This is where I am right now. Just allowing yourself to drop into your body, to this safe place we've all got within. Dropping into your body, dropping down into the earth. You feel the weight just drop from the shoulders and the body just soften a little bit as you release the hands and open the eyes. As we're going to start to circle around the sit bones. So rather than wave now, thinking of this world creating in the body. Now, what we're not doing is just mindlessly going through the motions. But we're really going into the feeling sense. Think of the water element. Everything's constantly changing. So we never step in the same river twice. So every day you would come to this practice, it's going to be different. Circling. Keep in your body. How are you feeling today? Can you notice how you're feeling and accept it, however that is? Maybe name it and then go, and that's okay. Sometimes what happens is we try and fight how we feel, and then what we resist persists. You feel this ocean within you, all these rivers of tissues through the body just starting to soften. Let's change over the cross of the legs. Little note to myself is this is quite hard. I'm having this like knuckly thing going on with my sit bones, but this is where I am right now. It's not so dusty, really, is it? So if I have to battle with slight uncomfortable boniness on the sit bones, I think I can handle it. There's the ebb and flow. Certainly. Now pay particular attention. This week we're working with the area around the sacrum, big energy center, our hips, our lower back. I'm getting feedback that a lot of you are struggling with that area at the moment. So just acknowledge that. Always be kind to yourself, but you want to keep this area moving. And it can help to even picture the fluidity in that area. This area is related to the element of water. It's basically where our water works are. So just by imagining this juiciness, this idea of fluidity around the hips, and not staying still when we're feeling tight around this area, but moving and moving around the joints that are, if you experience tightness or stiffness, can help lubricate them. Let's give the legs a shake out. So Tuesday is not one of the resistance days. It's not one of the big strength building ones, but we're still going to have some of that. But we want to be working today more with this idea of ebb and flow, the fluidity. So we're going to just start to move the arms, it's going through water. Can you stir the water there? Just going to get it all oiled up before we start to in this idea of ebb and flow. So, up here. We're going to take the right hand down. We're going to sweep the left arm up. We're going to inhale. We're going to really open the chest. And as you exhale, we're going to sweep over the left shoulder. So we inhale, we lift up. Now notice my hip is moving. It's the whole body spiraling. We exhale, we spin around. Now the spirals are just nice and fluid. Nothing forced. Remember, no efforting, no striving. We can still have this idea of the extension. There's the effort, there's the ebb, and then there's the flow. You go towards the left, you're probably not going to go very far, and that's okay. Lift up, and then we spiral around. So we've got always this duality in nature, this duality in the body. So we've kind of got this extension, this expansion, and then this softening. Let's do a couple more of these. One more. Release, and let's change over the cross of the legs. Just taking a moment to settle into your mermaid. Felt apt this morning to be doing mermaid. So the left hand's down now, and sweep the arms through water. It's like drawing the water in and towards you. Can you imagine what it's like? You know, when, I don't know if you're like me, but when I'm in water, I'm less likely to be doing like organized swimming strokes are more likely to just be, how can I put this, just fannying around in the water doing stuff like this. But can you imagine what the arm feels like as it's going through water, as if it's going through water? There's that slight resistance there. And then we've got this, whoa, lovely, like spiraling movement. So we're going to start to change that. We're going to start to lift up. Now we're opening up the chest, the belly, the hips spiraling in, we lift up, and then we exhale, we spin around. So inhale, it's like, it's still like a pandiculation. Exhale, rotating round. Inhale, lift, exhale, rotating round. This time, if you want to add a little bit more, you can lift off the hip. And just as if having a big yawn here. Your pace, remember, doesn't need to be the same as mine. I'd rather listen for you to listen to your body and dictate your own pace, your own level, rather than try and do exactly what I'm doing. As long as it feels good, coordinating the breath with the movement. You'll notice we're working with the spirals in the body, which I love. I love spirals. Oh, do we need to get out more? I'm out plenty, actually. Take the legs out and give them a shake. Apologise for my muddy feet. I've got muddy feet. So before we move on, we're just going to sit back and just plant the feet down and just do a little bit of mermaid side to side. Just switching on this part of us. I'm actually getting muddier and muddier. This wood's pretty, pretty dirty. All funny things. It is wild yoga, isn't it? It's not in a studio with all like, perfect. That's the whole idea. There's no such thing as perfection. Maybe we lift the hands up here, but keep the legs moving so we can really start to play with this hip mobility. We've still got effort, but this flow, which is kind of flowing the movement side to side. We're having to engage the core for this movement. So I saw this post the other day. I can't remember who it was. It doesn't matter anyway, but it was a yoga one. It was like of a handstand. Some of you'll know my thoughts about, taking pictures of yourself with bikinis, doing handstands and chipping it on Instagram. And the headline was actually "Practice makes perfection." And I thought, there's no such thing. Perfection is an illusion. So always remember that. There's no perfect pose. Taking the legs around behind. It just is. You just are where you are. It's all practice. Because there's always further to go. Now we're going to sit back onto the heels and just get a little bounce. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you go back here. You can always have the hands further forwards. And then we're just going to play around with that hip mobility. So scraping the peanut butter or the Marmite out of the jar. So I need to tell you something funny. After yesterday, I used that, which was I said, maybe not peanut butter, but Marmite. And then it came to breakfast time, and I decided, because I've mentioned the two, it shows you the power of your words and what you say. So what did I want for breakfast? I wanted Marmite and peanut butter together on the sourdough. It's lovely. So I should probably just put you in the mood for it now, or like half of you will just go, that sounds really bolted. Different strokes, different flows. Let's go in the other direction. It's getting really juicy. So we're thinking of how we heal. So the intention isn't achieving the perfect pose. Putting the body back into its natural state of balance. Playing with the ebb and the flow. Okay. So from here, let's just untuck the toes a minute, just bang your feet. And we practiced this one yesterday, so that, with lots of different levels. We're going to start with level 1, and then we're maybe going to build it up. So sit back onto the heels with a crouching tiger here, and then we wave forward. We wave forward by drawing the belly in. We wave forward. The shoulders come over the hips. The belly drops. Got open heart there. We sit back. Now don't try and race through it. Instead, feel your way through it. Don't do it, but feel it. Oh, there's a new one. I can't that before. I take on the Nike. Just do it. I'm going to say, just feel it. Just feel it. Just feel it and just feel it. So can you feel that wave starting within you? Remember, you can, as you come forward, just to get a little bit more opening, like soften the elbow, just take them out to the side as you go back. But feel the duality, the ebb and the flow in this. Now, if you want to take it a little further, you can lift off the knees, round forward to plank, drop the knees down, sit to the heels, leg lifts there. Heels lift, come to a down dog, move round. So you can forward to a plank, knees drop, and then remember to adjust here, the tailbone lifts, belly side. You sit back onto the heels. Press down into the feet with a breath. Ooh. That feel nice? Now maybe some of you would like an extra challenge. Remember the bullseye, you need to be able to breathe and you need to be able to smile. So your extra challenge may be keeping the knees lifted off, but keep integrity of the pose by maintaining that weight. So we've got the extended spine, the tail lift, wave to another, sit back onto the heels, really push fingertips, or actually the heels of the hands towards the front of the mat as you sit back. And you're going to start to find this delicious wave. I glance out to the ocean to remind myself, I am the ocean. You are the ocean. We're all connected by the ocean, the sun, the earth, air, and the space of us. We are all one. Okay, maybe that's enough now. Well, that's enough. Let's come down onto the knees. And let's come down onto the front. So laying all the way down onto the front, just making a pillow for the forehead. Take a moment, just maybe rocking the hips side to side, feeling the body just yielding into the earth. A little bit of rest and recovery. You feel like the breath. Then try a few breaths where you inhale, hold, and exhale. Release, release, release. You inhale and hold the breath. Exhale. Release and just feel your body just melt down. Maybe feels nice now to lift up the legs and just let the legs wave side to side. You're getting a nice massage of the belly, massage on the front of the thighs. Don't really think through my white bikini top today on a body platform. Oh, but it is. Now this next one, I invite you just to come onto the forearms, just to watch this for a moment. So this will just help prepare this back bend. So this is really lovely for the lower back. It's equally actually the back next to it. Have the hands wider than shoulder width apart. So you're making that kind of, I'm going to show you from the front, making that kind of spider shape from here. That has to stay towards the front from you. Watch. Now, if this is too much, just take the arms a little further forward beyond the forearm, or even have the head down. So what we're going to do is going to bend the right knee, bend the right leg, the foot lifts up. And we're going to lift off the knee. We're going to bring the leg over behind you and just gently roll onto your left side. And then we're going to roll back in. Now, don't be attached to how far you're going. Just let go. We're releasing this week, remember, we're letting go, let go of any attachment to how far you go, and instead just to explore how far the body wants to go. Bit by bit, it will start to open up. But just let go, get your mind out the way, let the body take over and seek out what feels really delicious. You start to look over that back shoulder. Feel. Still a bit of work for the arms here as well. You can always do, just take the arms out and just take the leg over behind you. Release onto the front. Really lovely the hips here. Okay, on this next one, as you lift the right leg up in the air, you're going to take yourself all the way around to face the back. From here, you're just going to take the legs. And here with this one, really important. If you want to turn to the side, you can, but really you just got your legs open. You're just going to soften the body, waving side to side. This one's really important for you to let go of any attachment to striding. The minute you start to push with this, the body stretch reflex will kick in, go further. So just be really soft and just wave. Move around the feet. See how that feels. Just with the intention of softening the body. You're going to start to turn back round onto the front. So the arms are going to go, imagine jazz hands. Jazz hands are going to go left. You're going to plant them around really carefully. Just start to spiral the body back round until you're laying on the front. Settle over here. Settle yourself in. You feel all lopsided. You're going to bend the left leg. Left foot comes up in the air. You lift the knee. You take the leg around behind you. You start to push up all the way onto the side. However you get there, so that you're seated with the legs open. And maybe you can think about water it. You know, unless there's really been something put in its way, it doesn't really force its way anywhere, does it? You know, it just flows. So just embody the ocean. And see how it completely changes it when you know, instead of going, oh, I used to be able to get there, you just kind of soften and you let go. No striving, no effort. Letting go and letting it flow. It's really one of the ways that we can best take care of ourselves as well. You know, we've always got this hot tap switched on, which is common. We're always on high alert. Basically, we're then chronically stressed. So we'll be able to switch that off. That just means switching the mindset off from striving. Does it have to be perfect? What is good enough is good enough. Looking back now, we're going to start round. We're going to the right with the hands, jazz hands right. Bring the hands around. The body is going to have to spiral around. Just notice how it finds its way. Isn't that fantastic? Find your way onto the belly. You're going to push into the hands. And you're going to sit back onto the heels and just rest in child pose. Just having a nice rest. Now you don't need to fold exactly where you are now. You can have a wiggle, you can have a fidget. Letting go. Just letting go. slowly and gradually just walk the hands back and come round. We're going to lay onto the back. Now you might want to find something to put the feet on for this one. This tree here, it just popped into my head because it's there. People often ask me, what's your yoga practice? Basically going and finding wild spaces and then using nature to inspire me. And if I'm not somewhere else, it's the cats that are inspiring me. But maybe you want to have your legs up on the sofa, legs up on the wall. You can just hold the legs up in the air as well. I'm going to take the arms to a Y shape. Absolutely. And allowing all the heaviness to drain out of the legs. Do this at bedtime for 15 minutes to help you sleep. It's called the Kavita Karani. It sounds very flash, doesn't it? Just translates the leg at the wall. I love it when it just does what it says in the film. Your legs up against a tree. That might change it. Like this. Legs up against the bed, sofa, whatever you want to use. And find that breath like wave. So you'll notice there is a little effort to hold the legs up. Find that nice wave like breath, even with effort. You might need to just slightly pause at the top of the inhale. Pause at the bottom of the exhale. And slowly just pulling the heels down into the bottom. Bring the forward. See what the body wants here, just to adjust itself. Everybody's going to need something else, something different. It's just like a little wiggle. And the adjustment, lifting up the shoulders. Take the feet a little wider. And we're just doing a nice gentle practice today. We found it gentle. Tomorrow's a little bit more resistance work. What we're going to do now, just to wind down, is just dropping the knees down to one side and then the other side. See how it feels. And you can change this in any way that you like. Put the feet up. You can even run the arm over the top. But here's your invitation just to follow what your body wants to do from here. How it wants to move in order to unwind itself. And you can help to close the eyes here and take away any visual stimuli and instead really go inwards. Slow down and breathe. Imagine what animals do when they move. Somebody ordered a stretch breathing, that's yoga. But actually it's hand information, which is yoga too. I don't think that's a very difference, but and a yawn and a stretch, mindfully listening to your body. Any external practice is going for you to do. Not just letting go of any attachment to any shapes, and instead just moving in the way nature intended. Nature intent. Well, take your guide from animals. Watch how animals move. Okay, so we're here. We're going to take hold of the back of the legs. We're going to start to rock and roll. up to seated. So you can take a few of these. A little playful rock and roll until you come up to seated. So let's just take a moment just to arrive again on your mat or your random makeshift yoga deck, wherever you find yourself today, in the virtual garden. Big yawning breath. Inhale, welcome in the day ahead. Oh, big articulate, big stretch, and then exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart. And from my ocean of a heart to your ocean of a heart, namaste, namaste, and have a beautiful day wherever you are. I'm sending you lots of love from Savtak. I hope you can come and join me soon. September and October are absolutely fantastic here. They're really great months. So I hope we're going to see you soon. Sending love. Bye.